Hey everybody, and welcome to my video. Today should be a good video because we're talking about Jenny McDermott, and I am quite literally rubbing my hands in anticipation right now because Jenny McDermott is easily one of the most craziest delusional women currently on YouTube right now with an agenda. So let's get right into her little video, shall we?
I spoke as an employer and I said effectively he is besmirching their reputation and that they should basically give him the choice of either continuing to do these kinds of videos or continuing to be a scientist.
Oh, don't worry, folks. We'll get to the Laughing Witch eventually. She is easily one of the biggest lolcows in the world of YouTube feminism right now. But let's continue with McDermott here.
In argumentative writing, which a few of you will have to take in your undergrad, students are taught the power of writing letters and how they can be used to make real-world changes.
Well, she's actually right in this particular case. When you actually learn about, group writing and doing things like letter writing campaigns, so they could actually hold some prominent influence on the people you're trying to address, such as people in government. But it works a little bit differently in this situation with these people. So let's continue and see what they have to say.
This open letter is addressed to Irina Kremlova, the Public Relations Officer at the Institute of Organic Chemistry and Biochemistry in the Czech Republic, with carbon copy to Police Presidium of the Czech Republic and numerous media outlets. This letter is written in regards to concerns about the criminal behaviour of Dr. Philip E. Mason.
Criminal, huh? Okay. Let's see what basis your argument has.
Another sad and embarrassing day for the YouTube manosphere is upon us. Grown adult and chemist Dr. Philip Mason, also known as Thunderfoot, has harassed another woman online. Only this time, it hit a little too close to home.
Oh, is that right, hon? Criticizing YouTube feminists is a little bit too close to home, huh?
Here's a chronological chart that will more accurately describe the situation taking place at current.
Well, oh boy, I sure do love me some charts.
First, Thunderfoot attacks and harasses feminists and a feminist media critic, Anita Sarkeesian. He harasses her by constantly making videos where he says libelous things about her, such as she is a liar, a con artist, and has somehow received a degree but is an idiot.
Man, you know what? I could have sworn I've heard this argument somewhere before. Like it was being done on somebody else. Now, who could possibly be an offender of that?
It isn't just that, though. He makes these videos for a very large audience, and some of them have over 1 million views. The regular viewers watch and then travel between Twitter and YouTube, harassing Sarkeesian and making other videos parodying the things Thunderfoot has made up.
Man, I really gotta say, I really hate how they try to put people like me into the same category as people who are actual harassers. Listen, hun, criticizing you and laughing at the stupid, dumb shit that falls out of your mouth isn't in any way harassment. I promise you.
This results in death and rape threats daily and a bomb threat received at a speaking engagement.
Yeah, I remember that all happening. Except for when the police told everybody that there was no real credible threat to Anita Sarkeesian's life. Funny how you seem to have missed that fact.
Next, a bunch of feminists and an ape who happens to be extremely gifted at satire and parody made videos disagreeing with him, and people took it upon themselves to write and send letters questioning Mason's behavior to his employer.
Yeah, except for Bewildered Ape, that dumb fucking moron, actually tried to backpedal that argument saying that it was an independent art piece because he knew he didn't actually have any evidence to prove the bullshit he was peddling.
How do people know where Thunderfoot works, or his real name? He doxed himself years ago in fear that he was going to be doxed by Dawa Films.
Seriously? Talk about the Eric Cartman way of trying to get yourself out of being embarrassed. Look, hon, I really doubt this all happened. I think you're just pulling bullshit out of your ass at this point.
And anyone who wants to search for a Thunderfoot video online can also find his wiki page, which provides a link to his place of employment, as well as a phone number, email, and exact location.
Okay, now this scene's important. I want everybody to make a mental note and remember this scene, because we're going to come back to it here in a bit.
I'm sure over the years Mason could have had this info removed if it bothered him to keep it there, but Thunderfoot is also a published author, and the academy or schools he has attended are regularly searched and easy to find. How would a person be able to trust the article they are reading as a credible author if they couldn't see what sort of degree they have or school they hail from?
Except for the fact that you just showed us his credentials in that Wikipedia article. It says there, black and white, Mason received a BSc and a PhD in chemistry from the University of Birmingham. Like, come on, really? Are you people really trying anymore?
Which leads me to my next point. Although the letters were sent over a year ago and Thunderfoot addressed the letters then, he has for some reason decided to revisit the protest letters and settle old scores. He made a video reading the old letters and has now made another video where he dehumanizes the individuals involved by simply calling us Sarkeesian supporters.
Yeah, because calling somebody a Nazi isn't dehumanizing them, right? Calling somebody one of the worst things that you could possibly be in the eyes of humanity without any facts to back up your evidence isn't dehumanizing at all, right?
He wants to get his Anita haters all worked up and ready to harass again.
Oh shit, you guys, she caught us! Red alert, red alert!
Phil is the ultimate manipulator. He is playing the victim hardcore and supposedly all in the name of free speech.
No, that's New Wave feminism.
Free speech that led him to Flag Bewildered Ape's video where he reads the letter.
I love how she fucks herself over with her own evidence here, because the screenshot she shows actually says it was flagged by the people of YouTube rather than one individual of YouTube, which it would show if it actually was flagged by Thunderfoot.
The same free speech that allowed him to make a video admitting to doing a search for Laughing Witch online, and after finding the business she owns and runs, doxed her business in his video, and even showed fans how to go to Yelp and leave false negative reviews.
Now remember earlier when I said pay attention on this one particular scene because we're going to come back to it. This is where we come back to it.
And anyone who wants to search for a Thunderfoot video online can also find his wiki page, which provides a link to his place of employment, as well as a phone number, email, and exact location.
Ah, the old classic, it's bad when you do it, but it's okay when I do it, double standard that feminists love to fall back on.
But is Philip Mason truly expressing free speech? Or was it free speech originally expressed by Ape and Witch, which has now been censored?
No, Jenny. Making false accusations and defamatory comments about someone's character does not fall into the category of freedom of speech.
Let's examine a few things and find out. Seeing as the majority of you that cry out for free speech live in the US, I will read some of the standards and practices here. So, what is free speech? It comes from the First Amendment and was created to protect religious freedom.
Well, more like it was put into place to protect people's rights to speak out against their government. Considering how America in its premature phase, that's what it was all about, speaking out against tyrannical governments. Really wasn't until later on did it actually really cover things like freedom of religion and things like that.
Free expression in speech, press, and assembly, and freedom to petition the government to compensate you for grievances. The Supreme Court can also decide what is or is not free speech, and does so in cases when an act may cause violence. In the US, we are prohibited from using speech that advocates for illegal action, provokes or instigates fights, commercial speech, or obscenities.
That's funny, considering that your factless, baseless argument perfectly falls into the category of perjury.
Some of the atheists here on YouTube believe that all speech should be free, but whether these atheists have this belief or not, the fact is, free speech is decided upon by the government.
The only instance in which the government actually steps in and determines whether or not your freedom of speech is validated is if whether or not you have violated the harm principle in which you are not allowed to slander, libel, or cause obscenities of other individuals based off of their own opinions. What I find most ironic is the fact that what you people have done here and what you've caused is exactly what falls under the harm principle.
Online speech, as described by the American Civil Liberties Union, is meant to be as strong as the free speech we see in everyday life. The decision was reached to make the speech of the internet equally free by a Supreme Court ruling in Reno versus the ACLU. In the case of doxing and the Barrett Brown indictment, a spokesman for Anonymous is being charged with conspiracy to find private online information and publish it. He was planning on revealing the dox of an FBI agent named Robert Smith, and he could receive up to 10 years jail time. Oddly enough, the FBI raid happened to be caught on an online hangout.
You know, and this is where she shows some clip of this dude getting swatted in his house. But really, that's the whole thing, though. You're talking totally different situations here. This is somebody who basically threatened a government official to release his information, which in many cases could have actually caused a breach in security.
So not only is doxing illegal, but online harassment, or the freedom to be able to harass people online, is extremely limited. According to an article on Lifehacker...
Ooh, Lifehacker, eh? You just couldn't wait to cite those Gawker sources, couldn't you?
Most online spaces are privately owned. Therefore, if the owner or administrator dislikes or disagrees with the comments you leave on their site, it is within their online speech rights to remove your content. And your right to leave said comments are not protected under the Constitution or by the Supreme Court.
You know, this is true, but what we call this is intellectual dishonesty. It is intellectually dishonest when you remove comments from an article in order to silence criticism. It is intellectually dishonest to remove your rating system on your videos to show people exactly where public opinion stands on your issue. It is intellectually dishonest to libel other people based on the fact that you do not like them or agree with them.
Another thing about most online companies is that they say that they value and support free speech in order to bring in clients and make money. But they have the right to value or not value your comments at any time. The final and most important thing brought up in the article is censorship. You may say you are being censored when you come across a video that does not allow ratings or comments, or you may claim that you've been censored when a user blocks you or deletes your comment, but you simply aren't. Censorship within the context of free speech refers to free speech that is being acted upon by the government. What you are doing on Twitter is not free speech, and what Twitter users choose to allow is not them censoring your free speech.
Once again, intellectual dishonesty.
I'd like to end this video by giving us all a moment to reflect on the sinking ship that is Dr. Philip Mason. The man who is so innocent of the things he's been accused of, that rather than address those exact instances that were pointed out, like his odd take on the Holocaust that was discussed with Kent Hovind, or his odd comments about the Holocaust on Twitter, or his hateful comments toward Muslims disguised as nuanced discussion, rather than address these accusations, he has made simple one-liners like, yeah, whatever, subtly threatening his opposition twice with doxing, and then actually doxed a woman and fellow feminist on YouTube in order to strike fear into dissenters.
Well, and I gotta say, so far the only thing you've actually only been able to prove is the fact that you and your subordinates are obsessed. You're obsessed individuals. You are obsessed with people who don't agree with you. And all the things that you're talking about, his comments on the Holocaust, his comments on just Nazi Germany in general, his comments on Muslims in general. Go watch his videos. I implore anyone to watch his video and come up with your own arguments based off what's been presented to you. Never take what someone else says to you about another person serious or in fact, because that person more than likely will have some kind of biasm towards that individual. Just like I implore everyone to make their own opinion on Jenny McDermott here, because once you see what she presents in her arguments, anyone with half a brain, anyone with even a sliver of common knowledge, will easily be able to debunk her and her dumbass fucking arguments.
He is silencing us. He showed followers how to leave bad reviews on Witch's Yelp, and she has received over 100 nasty comments that could harm her business.
Oh, oh boo, boo-hoo, poor Laughing Witch. Oh, woe is her. If only Laughing Witch hadn't have done something exactly the fucking same as everyone else is doing to her now. This is called Laughing Witch getting a taste of the karma she so much deserves.
She shut down her YouTube channel where she was being harassed nonstop into silence, and she shut down her Twitter account where she was harassed all day into silence.
No, that's because Sad Monkey blew her the fuck out by showing the entire world that she was a fucking liar, that she actually showed everyone in a video that she made herself that she sent the exact letter that Thunderfoot read to everyone else, then later tried to claim that that wasn't the same letter and that that wasn't written by her, even though in her own video she clearly shows everyone that watches it, that's my name, you see that? That's my name. It doesn't say Laughing Witch, it doesn't say Bewildered Ape, it says my name. She boasted about this fact. Now that people have found out that she's the liar that everyone has claimed her to be, she is now backpedaling. She is trying to essentially hide under a rock. She is getting exactly what she fucking deserves.
She had Yelp close down her Yelp page and has had to close down the website for her business. Someone called her home phone saying she ordered 20 pizzas, and people have been calling her husband saying she is a pedophile. If you were one of these people, you had better be ashamed of yourselves.
And you know what? You're right. People who do things like this should be ashamed of themselves. But you know what else? You should also reap what you sow.
It is obvious that Thunderfoot is already a remorseless, dark pit of self-loathing, but you all know better. If Thunderfoot didn't want his work contacted, he should have never filmed videos while at work representing his company.
Except he didn't.
He should have had Wikipedia remove his private information.
Yeah, well, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? In the rest of the movie, she pretty much goes on about how she wrote another letter to, like, all the people that Thunderfoot is related to in another sense, where she's basically gonna do the exact same fucking thing again, not learning from anything. Basically, well, look, I can get on forever about this video. The main point is Jenny McDermott and her subordinates and anyone else who thinks like her are dangerous to the ideas of free speech and individualism. These are people who are constantly trying to bring you down for thinking and speaking your own mind. If you want an idea of exactly how Jenny McDermott is and exactly a representation of her character, I'm gonna leave and end this video with this clip, which is the end of this video, of her video, and it will show you exactly what kind of person Jenny McDermott is.
Here are my conditions. I haven't sent these letters yet and will not if Thunderfoot makes a video apologizing, explaining that online bullying is wrong and illegal, and tells his fans to be respectful and stop acting like an evil empire. I am allowing ratings on this video this one time. If I receive 50 upvotes, then that means that you, my allies in feminism and social justice, have voted in the affirmative that you wish for me to send these letters, as well as other letters to the media. However, if I receive 1,000 or more downvotes, I will consider this harassment and send the letters anyway. The choice is yours. Thunderfoot and online harassers subscribe to him. Choose wisely.